Yo, what's poppin'? Now, welcome to the $1 Million Meetups. It's your boy, your host, everything, the king, everything. Lonnie, back with another episode. Here with, I'll pass it over to
Rakia. I am the CEO and owner of Marley Girl Collection LLC, which is a CBD and hemp dispensary online. So, yeah, we here to talk money.
Money. Okay, bad. So, what is Marley Girls CBD and hemp?
So I guess I'll start talking about how I started.
Yeah.
I started back in school. My last year of school, I was referred to like a counselor for a class, and she recommended me to take yoga for an outlet. And so in me researching yoga, I was finding different ways to ground myself, and I found out that herbs was like one of the number one ways that people grounded themselves during meditation. So I got into that. Originally it was supposed to be just cannabis, like weed, but I started to originally it was that because I wanted a dispensary. I still want a dispensary, like a storefront dispensary, but we take it small steps at a time. But that's how I started. I was looking for grounding techniques for meditation, and I started researching weed, and I was just like, man, it's a lot that goes into it. You could eat weed. I was like, what the hell? Am I supposed to, can I curse? Okay. We keeping it as real as possible. But yeah, I started getting into that, and I was just like, wow, the benefits were great. And then me doing the training online, I found out about CBD, which is a compound that is within the cannabis plant. So that's how I got into CBD. I was just like, everybody know about THC, weed. Let's do something different and create a different alternative. So that's how I started.
This nigga cracking me up. 2 crushes.
And know he can walk.
He funny as hell. Nah, but that's a good segue into like, what's the difference between CBD and marijuana? Because I feel like CBD is still like relatively new when it comes to industry. So like when I think CBD, when I thought CBD at first, I just thought like, okay, this is kind of like weed that don't really get you high.
Yeah.
But it's like, what's the real difference between marijuana and CBD?
And that's exactly what it is. It comes from the same plant as marijuana. The only difference is CBD is more of a body relaxation high, whereas THC is more of a mental thing. So it's psychoactive. It makes you behave in different ways. It might bring anger out of you, depending on your state of mind and how you're functioning at the moment. It could go either good or bad when you're
making niggas angry.
Yeah. You'd be surprised. Yeah. It brings out a lot of different things in people, but I mean, that depends on the person. So, and then, CBD is more of a body relaxer. And it's more so used for medical use, like for people with inflammation and neural issues and, just overall body aches, different things like that, menstrual cramps. The women love it for that reason. And then it doesn't show up on drug tests.
So it is that's one of the things I've like heard about. And I think you might have been the one that told me a while ago, but it's like a lot of different applications for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I've heard like it's good with arthritis, mental cramps, and all of that shit. But what about those more like serious illnesses, like like cancer and shit like that? It's like, is CBD beneficial?
So the research is still coming about. Over the past 2 years, I've been following research about cancer specifically, and CBD is great for shrinking cancer cells. So if you already have cancer and you're using CBD on a daily basis, a lot of people have said that going back to doctor's appointments and checking in, they've seen a great decrease in cancer cells. So The research is still going. We're not gonna say that CBD cures cancer, but I mean, you know, we ain't gonna say that.
I know I said you can say anything, but maybe not that.
Yeah, we ain't gonna say that. But there is some research that shows a excellent difference in cancer cell shrinkage. So
yeah, that's really interesting because it's like, I mean, I guess that's the side of like modern medicine that is like, I feel like people are like becoming more aware of, that it's like fucked up. It's like, how do you describe or how do you classify something that was here first that is, you know, a plant natural? It's like alternative medicine, and it's not something that, you know, doctors are really telling people like, hey, you could go home and smoke some weed and it might help you, or go home and try CBD and it might help you, and not just for cancer but for like any illnesses. So is CBD like your main source of like treatment for anything? Like you get a cold, like any and everything. Like it's not a game. This is not for money. I don't care about that. I feel like that's gonna come regardless. But like I really do live this lifestyle. Even before I started selling products, I was using CBD, and that's why I go so hard about it. I'm so passionate about it because I actually use CBD products, hemp-based products, period. You go into my house, my lotions, my body wash that I wash up with, and everything is hemp. So. And you make it all yourself?
No, I use like a lot of different like high-end to some new people that make products. I like to mix it up, but I have made my own products. I do have my own body products, so they're not released yet, but we're still working and trying to figure out what we want to do. It's so much I want to do with it, and that's why I named my business Marley Girl Collection LLC, because it's really an umbrella under so many things, over so many things that's to come. I want to do skincare. You know, I like makeup and beauty, so I want to get into that, different foods, and I just want to do everything CBD, because everybody knows THC. Let's do something different. Let's introduce the world to something different, because it's needed and it's legal.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's
So I know you speak on like hemp. Now I have no clue what the fuck hemp is.
Hemp is, okay, so you think the marijuana plant, if you think of the marijuana plant, hemp is like the cousin of them. Yeah, first cousin. Yep. And so that's the only difference, but they come from the same gene. So if we saying cousin, like, yeah, that's like my mama's sister daughter, you know. So there's not really a huge difference from hemp and marijuana. It's just really the percentage of compounds that's within the plant. So you have CBG, you have CBN, you have all these different compounds that make up the plant and makes the plants different by percentage.
CBD and CBG. Now that's some new shit right there.
CBN. There's so many different. I think it's over like 400 different compounds that makes up the plant. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. That's a lot of compounds I wouldn't have thought.
And all of those compounds do different things for the body. So yeah, it's a lot that goes. I'm still new. I'm still doing my research.
I'm about to say, yeah, you new and you still doing research, but you giving out whole ass educations right now. Like all of this shit sounds so foreign to me. It's like
really, yeah.
It's like I know people who like are in the CBD space, but it's like, I mean, they just really like sell the shit.
Yeah.
So one thing I noticed, like through like buying CBD products, is like it's like the same thing as like marijuana, where it's like it's different strands of shit. So is it the same concept as marijuana? Like
it really is.
Different strands of just like different levels of potency.
Yep. Okay. And I notice people talk about strands a lot, and especially when people are talking about like, well, I don't really like to smoke marijuana because it makes me feel away, it makes me paranoid. And then you have people that's like, well, you just probably haven't found the strand that's for you. But I don't really like to talk strands. I like to talk percentages, because that's what really matters, how much of these compounds make up what you're smoking, pretty much. So you have your indicas, you have your sativas, and then you have your hybrids. So we're talking sativas, we're talking uppers, energy, you ready to do and take on the world, right? And then you have your indicas, that's more like a relaxation state. You're ready to go to sleep, you know, you're ready to calm down your day. And then you have your hybrids, which is like a nice balance in between the two. I'm more of a hybrid person because I don't like to be, you know, too turned up, and then I don't like to be like super boring. So I like it in between. But people don't tell you that when you're talking strands, you're really talking percentage. So you're talking THC, more THC, less CBD. Now you're talking like more energy. And then you have CBD, less CBD, more THC. You're talking relax.
Yeah.
So.
See, I feel like with marijuana, I feel like the sativas are a lot harder to come across.
They are.
And and I don't feel like people really know about, like you said, percentages of like, different compounds that like make up what you're smoking. I don't think people really know like enough about it.
Yeah.
Like I asked my drug dealer.
Okay.
Like if he was like, what is this like indica or sativa? He couldn't like tell me. But the thing is though, it's like I feel like the sativas are like harder to come across because like at least for me, or the hybrids, because it's like what it tends to do is like after I like go through my peak highs, like you hit this crash. Yeah. And it's like it's enjoyable, but at the same time it's like not fun. It's like you don't really want to be like nodding off and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good look.
I'm glad you said that though, because CBD is actually a reverser of marijuana side effects. So if somebody ever had a bad high, whereas it's like they can't come down, they're too high, they don't want to be high no more, you can always do like a CBD tincture drop of oil under your tongue, or smoke a CBD blunt, and it'll completely reverse the high effect. So it'll calm you down.
So the tincture, I got some THC tincture, and I'm trying to like cook with it. So, like you said, there's so many aspects to this plant in general. It's like, how the fuck do you cook with CBD and marijuana?
So some people, I'll tell you what some people do and what I like to do personally. Some people just like soak their weed in oil. I don't like the waste product.
Yeah, I'm not saying you can't smoke it after that.
No, you really can't smoke it after that. I mean, I guess you could cook with it, like you could put it in foods, the actual weed, but like who wants to eat that? I don't know, that's not my thing. But I have a magic blender, so I have the machine, I put my oil in, and I buy CBD isolate. So it's a powder, and you basically sprinkle it in, and that's how I come up with my oils. And I just know it's safer that way as well when you're talking about selling to people. So, but yeah, most people like they'll just pour their oil in and then put product in. But it's just really a waste of product.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I'd rather not.
You can't try that shit out and smoke it. It's like, that do seem like a waste.
Yeah, and I started like that before I got my machine, and that's when I realized, like, okay, this is a lot of product. When you're buying bulks and bulks of product, and they're running you $400 a pound, and you're just putting it in a blender, and you're putting oil in there, and you can't use it after that, it's just kind of a waste.
That's something to think about.
Yeah.
I was watching the show on Netflix, not too long ago, called Cooking with Cannabis. And it was just like really interesting. So do CBD give you like the same type of, I know you say it's more like a body high, but it's like one thing about people who smoke like me, is it's like, you know, like when you smoke, like everything like tastes better. You know, like you get those like fuck I'm hungry, like
it depends on the person, because I have come across people that was like, yeah, they have a larger appetite after. With me though, I found that it actually makes me eat less, which I like, because I've been like dieting and trying to get my eating habits right. So it really depends on the person. So yeah, and then it depends on what form of CBD you're taking. So like I said, the tincture drops, if you're doing the edibles, that depends too, because if you're doing edibles, you're talking sugar being mixed, and yeah, creates different
always like interesting though. It's like weird for me, is because I don't think they really like do anything to me. It's like I can eat a whole brownie, 2 brownies, 3 brownies, and I just like sit there. I'm like, okay, this is a waste of money type shit.
Wow.
But I hear like other people like had these crazy ass stories.
Yeah, I've heard some
I didn't hear
stories.
that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want that type of effect, but
Yeah.
edibles are like always like interesting.
Yeah. As far as that, I think that would just depends on the percentage. So like I said, when we're talking strands or percentages, that was probably some whack weed
So
they use. And weed do get old, so cannabis gets old. So you have to make sure, like, you know, what you're putting into the edible is like
that makes sense. So
top notch.
basically, so is there THC in CBD?
Yes.
It's like a 50-50 or like a small trace amount type
Small
thing?
trace amount, yeah. So we get into laws and regulations. Farm Bill Act talks about Farm Bill Act 2018 talks about basically you're not supposed to be selling CBD products if they have above 0.3% THC traces. So it becomes illegal once it goes past that 0.3%. So all of my products are below that, or like doesn't have it in there at all. So yeah.
Okay, so what's your favorite strain?
I brought my favorite strand. One of them is Hawaiian Haze. We gonna do some.
That one is an indica and one's sativa.
It is an indica.
Okay.
No, it's a sativa. Sorry.
Okay, I'm about to say indica.
I like uppers, so I do a lot.
I like the sativas too. It's like, you get good ass ideas. You got your mind be clicking like a motherfucker.
And I like to mix. So I like to mix my like OG lifter. Like the OG lifter is pretty. It's a
This is your
booster.
packaging?
This is This isn't my packaging. This is my reseller's packaging.
Okay.
So I do resale. That's like another thing outside of Marley Girl collection. But I kind of blended it all together. But I do get products from a vendor, top notch. I source these vendors out to make sure like they was everything that I needed for my brand, because it is a luxury brand and I want to make sure that we're getting top products, they're legal products, and they're being tested, third party tested, to make sure that no one is coming back saying, hey, I tested at work and it came back to be, it was THC from my test results, and I just don't want any of that. And then I want to make sure that anyone who's buying from me gets the full benefits of what I'm giving. Make sure that that it's giving what it's supposed to be giving.
Man, you stocked up.
So yeah.
You said I do this shit for real.
Yeah, I do. I love it so much. Like, I wouldn't even do nobody like that just for some bread. So this is Hawaiian Haze. This a 5 gram. This is how it looks, and yeah. And I like to mix it with the OG lifter. So it's like a upper, but this is like the booster for the upper. So I'll be like all day up going. This is for like my long days when I know I'm gonna be up and running. I do these two together. So you want to try a hybrid or indica?
Sativa, no
sativa,
indicas.
no indicas. I'm glad you know that.
Sleep while we drive.
Okay, so we'll do
Oh,
we gonna do the
favorite episode. Smoke.
we gonna do the sour diesel first.
See now, okay.
Why?
Sour diesel weed will fuck you up.
You'll be okay. I promise.
I mean, I'm an expert at this.
And these are rolled with raw paper. I have the leaves too, so we're gonna try those too.
What are those leaves called?
King palm. I got the king palm.
Okay.
And that,
I remember I got some pre-rolls from it. I really like those leaves, but they don't fucking sell them at the gas station.
yeah. So stay tuned because I'm in talks with king palm as well. So we gonna start selling them too. Okay, and with these, when you're smoking the raw paper, they burn really quick. So you have to kind of like hit it with the lighter and take it away, or else it'll burn out. Well, I just let people know. I had people call me like, "Mine burned away. I didn't really get to." Okay.
Are these two the same ones?
Yep.
Damn, it look like a black woman person. This motherfucker. Everything in that bag. And these, you say these for when you like on your long days and shit?
This sour diesel. The other one, which is Hawaiian Haze and the OG Lifter. We're gonna do that last. That's my favorite. I found like the older generations, like my aunties, my mom, they like the paper because I guess it reminded them of top paper.
Yeah. So you like your OG smoke this shit?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
See, that's an interesting thing. Like we live in such a like different time. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, shit, maybe even like 5, 6 years ago was like nobody, parents, grandparents, or like whoever would have thought about smoking THC, CBD, or like any fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's like, so it's just so crazy.
Definitely unheard of. You be like,
and this is shit. It was like when I was in Cali, 20. I was in Cali a couple years ago. And me and my brother, we were just like literally standing outside the Airbnb smoking. And it's like so surreal because it's like we got these like liberties and these freedoms and shit. But it was like, bro, 25, 30 years ago, the police could pull up, man.
Jail, yeah.
Life, you feel me? Like, you ain't just going to jail. Like, you ain't never getting out.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yep.
So, like, so it's not, okay, I don't want to say it's not like THC, but like a question. Does it take as long to, like, hit you as THC? Well, like, I'm saying THC, that's the technical term. As weed, you feel me? Because it's like sometimes people smoke. I know it's a lot of like dependent factor, you know, that you have something to eat, you know, are you staying hydrated, type shit. Like, do it, like, is that the same thing with CBD? Like, is that going to determine, like, okay, I'm gonna feel this shit in?
It's literally, it's literally the
Okay.
same. Like you kind of gotta wait for it. It sneak up on you. You could be high energy, and then you literally just mellow out of nowhere. But if you are a smoker and you smoke THC, it may take a lot longer for you because you're used to it.
It take a lot longer to kick in, but that don't mean consume more.
Right, exactly. Right. Yeah, you have people that do that. Yeah, we have to tell y'all that. I'm sorry, because you have people that do that like, it ain't working. Let me smoke about 3 more. And then by the time it really sunk in, you too high or you too relaxed and you can't do nothing else.
So it is literally, if it's an indica, like you said, like THC is more of a mental thing. But like if it's an indica and you like overdo it on
you going.
Damn.
You going. Like
crazy.
My long days when I know I'm gonna have a long day and I gotta have some energy and I really didn't get no sleep the night before, yeah, I do sativas. Cause I'll be going all day. Yeah.
You feel me?
Yep.
But a supplement, not a replacer.
Exactly.
So,
What do you think so far? What does it taste like?
it's real smooth.
Okay.
And I think it's the CBD, but like also the papers too.
Yeah.
Actually.
It's clean.
But I think it's the papers too. Like when you rolling like blunts and shit, nuts and woods, Vegas, whatever. It's like the paper is like really, really harsh. This shit make you feel like you're gonna fall out. It make the weed a lot more like difficult to handle. Motherfucker be almost coughing up a lung and shit.
That's what I like the most.
But it hit good though.
Yes. And I like that it's an alternative too for like if you do smoke weed, because I don't want people to think that I don't advocate for cannabis overall. Like I advocate for weed because it has its benefits as well. And really, I feel like CBD and THC can't work without each other. Like you need both of them somewhere. And so I do advocate for marijuana as well.
So where's CBD and marijuana on the family tree? Marijuana and hemp is like first cousins.
CBD is just the compound that makes up both plants. So you got marijuana and hemp, and then the compound CBG, CBN, CBD, all of those are like, if you think genetics, the internal, the makeup of the plant. So yeah, it's not a plant within by itself.
That's an amazing way of breaking it down.
Yeah.
Straight up. Nah, you dead ass. I thought we all had science or something.
Well, thanks. I've been doing enough research, and I just don't like to talk to people that don't, know what they're talking about. You selling the product, but you don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of hard though, because the shit basically sells itself.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like, nigga, do you want to smoke it or not?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, nigga. Let me get it.
And for real.
How does it feel to you? I mean, you got like a certain level of tolerance,
I like it. I like it a lot, but it's not my favorite.
It's not your favorite?
It's not my favorite. And that's just me being honest. This is great product though. So somebody else might like it. It may be their thing, but it's not like something I like to. Because you got to think about the terps, like what the smell, what it smells like, what it tastes like.
That's why, see, that's the biggest thing about CBD is like, the shit don't got like no smell to it. It's like, I like the smell of weed, but it's like at the same time, it's like, motherfuckers be trying to be discreet too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
CBD definitely help with that. So we gonna keep talking about CBD as, we're gonna try a couple of the other pre-rolls, but in the meantime, it's like a little like overlap. Like you just recently published a book, so she left that out at the beginning.
Yeah, I did.
She's an author as
Sorry,
well.
still new.
Black people say author,
You did not go there. Yeah, nah. We funny though. So I'm an Arthur.
yeah, she's an author. Tell us about. See, I feel that shit now.
No.
So tell us about your the book you just published, ebook, right?
Yeah, it's called The Real Vaccination, and so it's geared towards what's going on in the world right now with the pandemic, but it's more like a how-to book. So if you know someone who has been affected by, I mean, we all have been affected in some kind of way, but I guess I'm speaking more towards if they've been affected in a way that they've been diagnosed with COVID. If you've been diagnosed with COVID, it's pretty much how are you dealing with it? How are you holding up? A lot of people have lost family members, loved ones. And it's basically talking about, how do you cope with death after COVID? How are you eating, you know, what you're putting into your body, different ways you can vent and have outlets for your frustration, your fears, and just basically going in depth about exercising and different ways you can overcome.
So it sounds like it's more of like a mental health.
Yeah.
Okay.
Health and wellness kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense. I'm about to say that's good. That's good too. It's like, I mean, shit. The pandemic, having to like quarantine.
Yeah, all of that.
It's like
That took a toll on me. Yeah. Personally, I mean, you know, I'm a homebody anyway, but I like to have the option. Like, if I want to go out and kick it, I could just get up and be like, let me put on some clothes, I'm going out, let me call the girls, we going out. No, not being able to have that option, yeah, it was a bit much for me.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like the book would be helpful, like helping people, like
Yeah.
in those situations. I guess it was different for me because like I never stopped going out stuff.
Okay.
Like, yes, it wasn't open.
Right, yeah.
Like, I made it a point, like, every day to like,
Do something.
get your ass up, take a walk, go
Okay.
to the room,
Yeah.
whatever. Because it's like, I know, like, the recommendation was to quarantine, but it's like we black people.
No,
You know what I'm
so
saying?
we gotta go outside.
You know what I'm saying? We like, no, we like literally like plants and flowers and shit. It's like we need fresh air,
Yep.
sunlight. So, you know, like, surprised me that, you know, people who haven't like didn't get that. You know, like they had a harder time like getting through quarantine, the pandemic.
I think it was like a guilt thing for me though, because me and my mom take care of my grandmother, and so I was scared to like go around her, knowing I had been out. So it was times like we wouldn't see her for weeks, and I went from seeing her every single day to like not seeing her for weeks and weeks at a time. Yeah, so I think it was just the guilt for me being around like my older family members, and like, damn, I went out this past weekend. Is it in me and just not showing up, and she ended up sick? Like, I was just worried about it a lot. So, yeah. But I did go out sometimes. I did go out. Yeah, nobody stayed in for real. Like, come on out.
Especially when they first started allowing people like to come in the restaurants and shit. Like,
oh yeah.
I can't wait to get my ass. Like, we out here.
Yeah. So I'm excited about this summer. For that reason.
Wow. He got the whole ass chair with his boots was like under the chair. Like he left that shit for like later. It's just like, that's why that's funny. But alright, what's the next one?
You wanna try the next one? Okay. So the next one we're gonna do, we're not doing any indica, so we're gonna do
I'm trying to see the favorite.
the hemp flower, the OG lifter.
OG lifter.
This is my favorite, but I like to mix it. So
This one isn't mixed.
no, it's just the lifter. But we smoking sativas now, so you just smoke the sativa. It's more of that boost to your already high.
So what was okay?
I don't like saying high. Let me not say high.
Slow people.
Okay.
And me. What's the difference between this one and the one we just finished smoking?
That one is stronger in CBD percentage. So, which means it's gonna give you a stronger high effect to the body. So, how you feeling right now? Feel good? You chilling? So this one may make you a little bit more energized. Like you may be like, yeah. So you know, that's the difference. Yeah. You know how like, so prime example, we have the raw paper rolls, which is just the paper, and then you have the leaves. You know when people smoke the backwoods, and you have the swisher.
I'm sorry, before you finish, if anybody's smoking out of swishers, that means our ass.
No, people
You should be doing shit with swishers. Don't smoke swishers. Don't put your weed in swishers. Get your ass a Dutch or wood or
People
Vega or
smoke.
something. Don't smoke shit out no Swisher.
Yeah, you be surprised.
Shout out Swisher.
But that, I'm getting to that raw leaf, like that real raw leaf, give you the amplified effect of whatever product you putting in it.
Okay.
So that's what this is. It's just amplified. Whatever you feeling, it's gonna boost it. Now, depending on the person, now it may not do you as good, but we gonna see.
What you mean, do you was good?
You know, you might not get that full effect if you know you just used to smoking a certain thing. Like, I like to test these kind of things out on real smokers, like weed smokers.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just so that I can know for myself what product I can brag on and what product I can sell, because like people gonna come at you and,
Do you have what you mix? The THC and CBD?
no, I never did that before. Just because that's like mixing the upper and the down. Like, even when you, like alcohol, anything, like when you're mixing one thing that's supposed to bring you up, one thing that's supposed to mellow you out, it can get a little weird. So I try to stay away from that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see like when somebody like smoke weed like every day, feel about like real potent strands of CBD.
That's my brother. My brother is like a smoker.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was like the first. Yeah. So he was like the first person I tried it on. He was just like, that shit hitting. It's like, what's this? This ain't weed. I want to let you smell the Hawaiian haze, because
Does it sound like it smells good?
it's tricky. Like smokers, weed smokers, if I don't tell them what it is, they think it's weed.
Based
I
off
mean,
the smell?
they stop the smell, which is, I guess, I understand that, because I mean it does. They're in the same family, so I mean the smells can.
They like each other. You know, family.
Well, you know, they might. I don't know. Well, they gotta work together, so it don't even matter.
Facts.
Right, it don't even matter. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So, you talking terps? That's the aroma. We talk terpenes. That's the aroma. That's the smell. So you can go in the dispensary. You ever heard of it?
Terps, no.
You'll sound fancy going in the dispensary saying that. So like,
Yeah.
what's the terp from this?
I'm gonna edit this part out, so I'm like the only person. Get that lingo.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's loud.
But it smells more flowery, like sweet.
Yeah.
But it's Hawaiian
Weed
haze.
might be a little more like earthy.
Yeah. Yep. That was a good way of saying it. Yep.
But yeah, I've never smelled CBD. That smells
Smell like that. You open this out and you like, what's that?
That's crazy because my lady, like when I got those pre-rolls from you the first time, like she hated how the CBD like smelled. And I was like, and like it even smelled like different now than the first time I like got it from.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it was like less of the same pheromone that make it smell like weed. It just smelled very, very like earthy.
Yeah.
And I don't mind it, but like, it's just interesting because I didn't think it would smell like that.
That's different terps. And you have to literally ask for that. You have to talk and ask for that, because they'll give you, you know, whatever. And say it smells good, it tastes good. But like a lot of this, it depends on the person. Like if she didn't like the earthy smell of it, there are flower smells. There are more smells that smell like a cologne. Like, people don't know that.
Yeah, that's what somebody said to me. Used to do this, like a cologne or like some type of like scent spray for you.
Yeah, incense. Yeah.
And you want to see it smell like strawberry.
Yep.
When you spray, you say bop bop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you spray. You good.
So that's it. I think I did it.
Finally, like this motherfucker. It's interesting
think I came down there once.
No, that shit.
It
It's fuck like literally like nobody on the streets.
well,
Like white people would call the police on nobody. Like, it was nobody else. They wasn't even outside. See? But it's like it's getting a little bit more so like back to normal at this point.
yeah. Well. So what do you think about the mask mandate being lifted?
I mean, I wouldn't.
You ain't follow the rules no way.
My whole thing is though is like, excuse me for being paranoid, but I don't believe that, and we're a little off topic, but it's whatever. I don't believe that you can not make laws to make sure that the cops that killed Breonna Taylor go to jail, but you give a fuck about if I get this disease or not.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you saying wear the mask, it's like I'll be cautious, but it's like I'm not like putting that bitch on like everywhere I go. Like hell no. Like if I'm in somebody's store and they ask me to, like, okay, out of respect, But it's like almost like they say, you know, they lifting the mask mandate. I might start wearing my shit now.
Yeah. I agree.
It's always opposite of whatever they say to me.
I don't know. I just think that people personally should know personal space anyway. Like, it's just.
Yeah, that's fucked up. They just set the goddamn pandemic for people to know, like, hey, bro, wash your hands.
Like you too, right?
Wash your hands, bro.
Well, you standing too close.
Facts, I tell this nigga in Subway that day. He said, go back the fuck up. He was, oh, my God. You gotta pay attention.
That was devil.
But it's just, I mean, all of them are like really smooth.
Okay. I'm gonna do a whole line. I come prepared too. I just got it's cute.
What's that?
It's just a little cute little tray.
Oh, the room.
You know. And I want to start getting like cute accessories for the women.
Motherfucking hemtress for real.
Not for real. I really do this. This is not for fake. Okay. But look, so I'm gonna start doing like the little accessories, smoke accessories. A lot of them are gonna be like pinks and like cute colors, because I like to irritate the guys, because they like to tell us like, oh, smoking is not good for women, that's not cute. So I'm making it look cute.
Cigarettes?
No, I'm not smoking
CBD,
cigarettes. We talking about herbs, things that come from the earth.
Is that like a real stigma? Like, like,
not for real.
Smoke?
I've been out smoking, minding my business. It's like, oh, you too cute for that.
Damn.
Too cute for what? Smoking. Why you smoking? Okay. Yeah.
That's when you smoke. It's ugly.
So yeah, that's really a thing. I'm gonna do the I like King Palm because they have different types of like the leaves. So you have the berry, and then you have the regular ones that you bought for me. They don't have really a smell or a flavor to them.
Yeah. One of my bros, he swore by King Palm.
Yeah. They have the hemp leaves too now. My brother smoked those. I said, okay, so you do listen to me.
Some of those leaves trash though.
Nah, for real. You have to be careful with them because they be stale.
Do like 2 months away, try to smoke them up, but this ain't gonna work. Shit starting to turn though.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I mean, you're getting more creative. The juices is flowing. That's a good thing. That's one. Yeah, that's one effect. And it's like the flavors are like a fruity and woody flavor. So.
Fruity and woody. Yeah. So.
Earthy.
Okay.
Like you said. Yeah, that's a better way of saying
it. Are CBD dispensaries like as prevalent as THC dispensaries at this point?
I think they're becoming more popular because, well, depending on what state we in, I think they're becoming more popular depending on the state because marijuana still isn't legal in certain states, so it's like CBD is the only option.
Is it legal everywhere?
CBD?
Yeah.
It gets tricky, but yeah, it gets tricky. People don't like to say CBD. People like to say hemp.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, it is. Hemp is legal. Amazon sell hemp. You can go to your local store on the corner. They have the little bottles of hemp, but CBD. But people don't like to say CBD because then we're getting into regulations.
Yeah,
So.
that makes sense. That's how they avoid regulation. They remove their words. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, somebody like in this space, like if you thinking like future looking and shit, like you got a magic wand, where are you taking this space?
Well, I spoke a little about it before, but I want to do a dispensary, a storefront dispensary, but I'm having a hard time deciding. Like the older I get, because I'm just like, I want a family and, you know, I want to be able to live my life, enjoy travel, and not have to worry about, you know, is the store okay and what's going on at the store. So I'm still not sure about that, but I really just want to advocate and help people that's dealing with certain neural issues and things like that, because that's what a lot of our older generation is being affected by. And if I can create the alternative to help, that's really the main focus. I feel like, you know, money will flow, business will flow, but like, especially when you're intentional and being a good person overall, you have pure intentions. So that's really where I'm at. I'm local right now. I like local. And I could probably stay local. But as far as getting the word out, I'm trying to be everywhere.
Facts.
So, yeah.
So would you describe yourself as more like because it sounds like less of a drug dealer. When I say drug dealer, I mean like people who just like sell it for the money.
Right.
And more of like like a herbalist.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Yep.
It's like
herbalist. That's a good way to put it. Yep.
It's like mostly about, just like you said, where like money gonna come.
Yeah.
But it's more so about like healing properties and medicine. Okay.
Yeah.
I can fuck with that.
Yeah. I always say we not selling nothing. We just create an alternative. You know, pharmaceutical companies, they be trying to take you out, trying to come for their money. We're not trying to do that, but I mean, if we do that, then it is what it is. We ready. So, yeah, they don't try to get into cannabis too much. That's why it took so long to legalize it, because you can literally grow it, and they won't make any money off of it.
Pharmaceutical industry is tough.
Right.
Better word.
Talking money.
Yeah, that's what it is. All about the money. That's capitalism for us, though.
Yeah.
So how did this one? So how do you feel after that one? I'm just trying to like compare and contrast.
I feel like I could just talk forever, and that's not even me. I'm usually a sit back, chill, observe. I only talk when I'm asked a question. But I mean, I could just talk right now. I'm cool. This will usually give me anxiety because I don't like a lot of people, cars, noises.
What?
But I'm
like,
yeah. I don't come downtown for that reason.
What?
I don't come. It makes me very anxious because it's a lot going on, and driving. I commend you for this.
It's like I used to live in the Southwood. So
yeah.
Like,
okay.
I mean, I was like downtown, but downtown, but like not Michigan Avenue downtown.
Yeah.
Like that's when the shit get annoying. You get a super nice day outside,
Mhm.
and it's like this bridge is packed.
Right.
And I don't like being like close to people.
People, yeah. Yeah, it's always a lot going on. But I'm cool.
I'm feeling good. I'm glad I put it down when I put it down. Because I feel like a couple more puffs to have my ass and this bitch clean and rocking.
Yeah. So yeah, and that ain't THC. Which one is that? The OG lifter. And this doesn't have any THC in it, and that was the OG lifter. So that's something to think about.
So when you sell them, do you like mix them and shit, like the hybrid?
If they ask me to, it depends on, you know, if they ask me to. But I'm no longer doing the mixing. I just found that was way too long of a process. And you know, when you start mixing your own products, you have to go in and get them tested, and it's just a long process. And so I just decided that I wanted to stick to one product that was mine for right now, and then I'll just resell everything else, but making sure that I'm picking and choosing my sources and making sure they're like top of the line.
Yeah. So when you say the mixing process is, what's the word you use to describe it? Like difficult?
It's real tedious. It's like, yeah.
So
it's long. It has you like really sitting there, and when you're packaging for like, depending on who's buying, you know, at that time I'm packaging for people because none of my products sit up. I do it when I get the orders.
okay,
So yeah, so I'm like breaking it down, and yeah, CBD, Fallout, and somehow weed. CBD, y'all. But yeah, it's not easy sitting there putting stuff in these little tubes.
Yeah.
And when you got about 50 of them that you have to stuff, it just become like a long process.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like simple. It's just like grinding it all up, but it's like this is OG Cushion Granddaddy Perk.
No, I literally sit there and hand do everything.
Oh man.
Yeah. So yeah, that includes grinding it up, breaking it apart. You have some people that like flowers, like botanical flowers in it, just to give it a more flowery taste.
See, I'm about to start smoking CBD more than THC. Because you're using these words that make me feel like it's a lot more sophisticated.
That's
like
real
cocaine.
smooth and classy.
Botanical. I'm like, damn, man. Smoking weed, you would never hit on it. It's a flower, it's a plant, but you would never
That's
hit
because that's how the world has made it. Like THC weed, it's fancy too. It's a herb. It's grown from the earth. It's beautiful. So like you can mix it with flowers. Flowers came from the earth. It's like they're all in the same family. But I get those people that's like more into the flowery, mix all the herbs together kind of thing, and it's like now I have to go into something else because now I have to look at flowers, what mixed better with this CBD. Yeah, it's a lot. So I was just like, I have a reseller's license, why not use it? And
so what's the process for getting a reseller's license? First of all, you rather the sunlight or air?
No, this is good. Yeah. So I got my reseller's license through, I went through a process of getting certified through a training online, and it basically came in the packaging. Like the certification that I got, I had to take a master exam on about 50 different topics. It wasn't hard though, it sounded. But yeah, I had to do the certification, and I got it within my certification, so it was like a part of the plan. And anybody could take the class. I mean, you have to be of age, but it's a year-long course. They give you the information for a year. You can go in online and look at all the information that they give you, but then after that year, it goes away. So like you gotta save everything you can. But It's a year-long course, but I finished it in 3 months just because I just was so interested in what it was offering.
That's like a fucking semester.
Yeah.
It's like taking a class. 2 semesters. Shit.
Yeah, 2 semesters.
Yeah.
But I finished it in 3 months. I was in the house like.
Also, did you really like get into it during quarantine?
Yep. Yeah. Well, I got certified, and so I got into it before quarantine. I got my certification January 2nd. Marijuana had became legal January 1st, I think, 2020 in Illinois. That was my whole purpose. I was just like, I want to get it before it becomes legal here, so that I'm already ahead of the game.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I wait till January 1st.
Oh, they feel. So yeah.
Hold it there. Like press it down.
Okay. But yeah.